Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday, the 3rd of November, 2012. And it's almost like 8 o'clock in the morning, and look how dark it is, you know. Well, it's our last day of daylight saving time. Tomorrow, we move the clocks, whatever, one way or the other, and we'll have an extra hour of light in the morning, and we'll lose that hour of light in the afternoon, so it'll get dark about, 5-ish instead of 6-ish. What do you know? I'll tell you, man, sometimes you just sit and wonder, what the F are they doing to this paper? I mean, it's like, are they actually trying to make it worse and worse and worse? Astounding. Look at the style section. Now, the style section on a Saturday isn't much anyhow. It's usually just a couple pages. But look at this. Look at the front page of the style section. Almost the whole page. I'd say 3/4 of it is on as an article about Bret Baier losing weight. I mean, who would even think to do an article like that? Well, we got some big media stories here. There's a whole lot going on in the local Washington media community and all this other stuff. But how about let's write about Bret Baier losing weight? I mean, his doctor said he has high cholesterol. A big article about it, and it's just like, I don't know, man. This is, I think, a new mediocre low for this style section to even think that's this guy this guy's already, he must have the world's greatest press agent, okay? I don't know who it is, but a while back, everybody's fighting to write about Bret Baier's fancy house. I don't know where it is, somewhere in Northwest DC, and all the beautiful fixins he's got in it and all that other stuff, and I mean, there must have been 4 or 5 different profiles about Bret Baier's house. Now we have Bret Baier's losing weight. I don't know, man. It's just slimy paper. It's just like a dumb article. And it's like, I guess they sold this, I guess maybe, I guess the people out there think we're not nice to Fox, that Eric Wemple's always attacking Fox. So we better write an article to placate the crazy righties down there and whatever. I don't know, man. I just read this thing and I'm going, oh, God. And you put it on 3/4 of the front page. This is pathetic. The style is a pathetic, sad section. And then the Washington Post reports, where is it in my paper today? What is it here? Post company's earnings jump in third quarter. Okay, and blah, 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 wonderful. Basically, the newspaper owns cable TV stations or systems and TV stations around the country, and that's what did well with the Olympics because they have some NBC affiliates and stuff like that. The newspaper itself, the circulation was down almost 10% so far this year. 10%! They've lost 10% of their paid subscribers, and you know why? Because they're like me. They're saying this paper's really mediocre in many respects. I do still think the A section and their coverage of international, sometimes national news is still pretty good. Better than most papers. But man, this paper has taken a huge dive under Marcus Broccoli. I'm telling you, it really has. I'm a longtime subscriber. I mean, I've gotten the Post ever since I was a kid. My parents got it in the driveway, back in the 70s when I was a little tyke. And we get the Washington Star in the afternoons. But man, you read this paper today and you just go, yeah. I mean, I say, look at local media coverage. Post used to be great on that. They used to have Stephen Carmody and Jeffrey, what's his name? I can't think of him. Fill it in there. They used to have a radio guy. They used to do at least a weekly column on local radio, and they used to do a daily column on television that had a lot of local stuff in it, not like Lisa Marais sitting out there in L.A. penning about, L.A. executives and stuff like that. I'm telling you, it's just sad. And You know, Broccoli is trying to make the Post basically they're trying to kill off the print edition and turn it into a national website. I think that's what the trends are. The print edition is kind of, and as we print subscribers know, is being turned into a afterthought. And here's an interesting thing. I didn't renew my Washington Post. I didn't actually actively renew my Washington Post subscription. I have a credit card. They bill my credit card. Okay? So here's the weird thing. Back in September, my credit card, they sent me a new credit card with a new date on it. Okay? A new, expiration date. I never let the Post know what that expiration date was. I never did. Okay, so I was figuring they were going to call me up and say, hey, we need a new expiration date on your account so we can bill your credit card, because that's what I get from other people. They never did that. And all of a sudden, I look in my October statement, and the Washington Post is continuing to bill my account. Now, I don't know how they did that without knowing my new credit card date, unless somebody over there filled it in. They guessed, it was 9/12. We'll change it to 9/15 or something. Somebody over there changed it without me authorizing it. I don't know how that happened. It's never happened before. I mean, okay, I'll get continue getting the Post. They can bill me for it, but I just thought that was a little strange one. Maybe somebody should look into that. Man. So the other big news, what's the other big news? WNEW. Back during the storm, WNEW 99.1 was broadcasting on some other frequencies, and for a day or two they were on 106.7, and they had some newscasts on 94.7, and they did some newscasts on PGC 95.5, and they also started relaying the signal on 1580. Which is where that BizGov station is. BizGov. And I noticed yesterday I'm driving around, I'm just flipping around. Radio, I'll tell you, music radio in Washington is sucky, especially for people my age. Nobody's playing what I like on the radio. They just don't. I love 80s, those cool new wave 80s rock hits kind of stuff, like Joy Division, The Cure, and Depeche Mode, and U2, and early U2. Bands like that. Flying Seagull, Flock of Seagulls. Nobody plays that stuff on the radio anymore. So I'm always listening to talk radio, and sometimes, I get bored with that, so I flip over to AM, and I'm scanning down the dial, and I'll go to 1580 and notice, hey, they're still running WNEW's news output, 4 or 5 days after the storm. Maybe they're going to just keep it there. It's kind of cool in a weird way. As somebody wrote into the mailbag, it's kind of neat listening to all news on AM, because it kind of reminds you of being, that's kind of like the band it should be on. That kind of has that certain timbre to the quality. FM sounds a little too, cleaned up signal. When you listen, when I was a kid, I used to hang around with my grandfather a lot down near, he retired near Atlantic City, New Jersey, and he always listened to news radio WCBS out of New York on 880 AM. We drive around the beach and all that, and his radio always on 880 AM, that, it would crackle and hum, and, but it had that certain AM presence to it, and I always liked that. And it was kind of interesting listening to WNEW on 1580 the other day. It just sounded kind of like, hey, it sounded like KYW in a way, KYW in Philadelphia on AM, and a certain kind of an appeal to that. And, that you just don't get on FM. And even though FM's a better signal, it sounds cleaner and all that, there's something, just people that grew up with AM radio when we were kids, it's kind of fun to listen to AM now and then. Another cool radio station. Anyhow, WNEW is going to be ending that today, I'm told, and they're going back to their BizGov format, but so I won't even listen to it anymore. But it's also cool. 1420 here in Washington, in the Northern Virginia area, WKCW has a really cool oldies format. They play stuff like, I don't know, stuff from the 70s that just never gets played on the radio anymore today. It's the 60s, and it's just so cool listening to it in that grunky AM. It reminds me of driving around as a kid, listening to WFIL in Philadelphia and WIBG. Cool stuff there. So, AM radio, hey, it's just the memories. Memories. Kind of nostalgic for AM radio. Now I'm going to go get the 78s out. I'll tell you something. Hold on. Just wait a couple seconds here. You think I'm kidding, right? You think I'm kidding about 78s. Look at that. I got him. I got him. What's this one? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There's a pawn shop on the corner in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I actually have a pile of old 78s that my grandparents had. And this is really fragile. If I just tap this on the table here, it would crack. But as you can see, this record got the treatment as when I was a kid. I like to take the crayons out and color the records. So this record has been colored by me probably as a kid. But I do have a bunch of old 78s that are, you know, even some old, the albums, you know, they used to come with the big fat albums with one, they come with like 6 records, you know, 2 songs per side. So you had 12 songs. Very few of the albums are complete. You know, a lot of them have busted, but you know, I still have a pile of them there. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I don't even have a turntable anymore, so I can't play them. But you know, I don't know. They're just a link to my past. All right, folks, that's Dave TV for this Saturday, the 3rd of November, 2012. Don't forget to help support us. Put a little beg-a-thon-y thing on the website. October was a slow month, advertising-wise, and November will probably be slow too. It is traditionally. We really could use your help. Donations, you know, we do depend on your donations for a good chunk of our operating revenue. So do send us a couple bucks, PayPal it, or put a check in the mail. Click on our support link there at the top of jcrtv.com. Okay, folks. And now go back to reading my post and see if I can fall asleep. Book 'em, Dano.